Hi, 10th graders, your school counselors here. We're just past the midway point, the first semester of the school year. So 3 semesters down for you all, only 5 to go for the remainder of your high school career. So exciting times. At this time of the school year, as you guys probably know from last year, is when we start talking about registration for next year. So that's what we're here to do today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And what we're going to do today is walk you guys through the registration guide. Some of the courses offered and how to go about selecting your courses, and then how to actually go into Skyward and pick your courses. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. Try to do it as efficiently as possible. I think I'm sharing now. So you're gonna go to northfieldschools.org. That's our school website. From there, you would go down to schools and find the high school tab. Once you're here at the high school page, you'll find on the left side here the student support tab. Click on that tab and it'll bring you to our student support school counseling page at the high school. You'll see all our information down here. You can go ahead and click on the name of your counselor to send them an email. And our phone number's there as well. As you guys probably know by now, your school counselor corresponds to the letters of your last name. So whatever category you fall in there, that is your school counselor. And from there, from this student support page, we're going to scroll down and find the course registration and planning for 22 and 23 tab, 2022 and 2023. We're going to plan to do our registration. Obviously, today is the 8th. We're going to go over registration these 3 days, the 8th, 9th, and the 10th. And we want your registration to be completely finalized in Skyward, all of your course requests in by Friday, February 18th. So from there, you guys are going to scroll down and we'll have more links of information for you as well here. And you'll click on the 2022-2023 course registration guide. And I'm actually going to go over and show you what some of the content in that guide and start walking you through it here. So this is the front page of the guide here. And you'll see these first few pages serve as a table of contents for the classes offered here at the high school. It starts out by classes that are required for graduation, and it's sorted out by subject there. From there, it goes into world languages, and then it's broken down by electives in area of interest. And so you'll see here, the courses are all listed by subject, starting with requirements. And as we go through it, sorted out by area of interest as it pertains to electives. This right side of the page here is interesting. It's the Northfield High School profile. So what this is, it is exactly what it says it is. It's a snapshot of our school. It's the profile of our school. And it gets sent out to every college you end up applying to as part of your application, and explains a bit about our school. So location, size of our town, the fact that we have the 2 colleges here, explain some of our faculty, and then some of the classes we offer, both the honors and advanced classes and the AP classes as well. So it gives you a little colleges a little snapshot of our high school, average ACT scores. And then this is a cool part about it too. It shows an overview of the previous graduating class and their post-secondary plans. Both are how many graduates there were, where they decided to go, whether it was a 4-year, 2-year, workforce, military, etc. And then the colleges that they chose, and then how many of the students chose to go to those colleges. Maybe the most important page we're going to show you in this registration guide here is this bottom right part, and that's the graduation requirements. So at Northfield High School, as you probably well know by now, you are required to have passed and earned at least 23 credits to graduate. Amongst those credits, 16 of them are required in the core classes posted below. So English, social studies, math, science, Phy-Ed, health, and art. And then 7 of the credits can be elective, meaning not those core classes, in areas that you choose. And so it's important to note here before I turn it over to Ms. Rasmussen, these are just their credits that are required for graduation at Northfield High School. And as we start thinking about long-term stuff in life after high school, those can vary a little bit, but I will let Ms. Rasmussen take it from there. So I'm going to go and stop sharing my screen and I'll let her take over.
Thank you, Mr. Turnquist. Now I'm going to try to share my screen. This is exciting. Okay, here we are. So I'm at the registration guide, which is so valuable. I really encourage you 10th graders to take a look at this. There's so much information in here for you. So moving on to the next pages. I find these to be really important. As you are planning what you want to take next year, I'd like you to think about the next 2 years. Do more of a long-term plan, because life beyond high school is coming, and there might be some requirements that are needed for your choices and your interests then that aren't needed for high school graduation. So this is a pretty important page for you to take a look at. Life beyond high school for 2-year college experience, technical college, or 4-year. You notice that world language was not listed as a requirement for Northfield High School, but students often choose to take a minimum of 2 years of a world language so that they can move on to a 4-year college or university after high school. So requirements that are needed for your interests after high school are important to think about now. In the military, there is a pretty rigorous physical examination needed. So taking some extra Phy-Ed courses might be in your best interest now to prepare for that. So take a look at this page. Naviance, you're familiar with your Naviance account, is a great tool to research what colleges and universities are requiring. Also, your counselor is a great resource. So please feel free to stop in during flags, email, Schoology message your counselor. We can help you gather information and learn about this. The NCAA Clearinghouse. This is some important information for those student athletes that are looking to possibly compete at the Division I and Division II level. There might be requirements here that you need to address now for that. The next pages cover all the academic supports that we offer, and there are plenty. You need to talk to your counselor if you would like support or interventions for you as you move through high school. The next page, dual credit opportunities. This is something that you should be thinking about now. As you look at 11th and 12th grade, you can get creative with your schedule. There are advanced placement courses that could potentially earn you college credit while you're in high school, as well as courses that you take here that are affiliated with a college, so you can earn credit in high school and college in one class. So these are listed here. As a senior, there's a senior honors program that you can be thinking about. That is St. Olaf and Carleton. They offer this. Post-secondary enrollment options is one of the most popular opportunities that you could take part in. There will be detailed information on another link for you, a slideshow with this information, and your counselor can talk to you about this. It really is involving taking a course at a college, which would fulfill a high school and college credit requirement. So that's outlined for you here. So Mr. Ensrud's going to talk to you about what courses we offer here that you can take. I'm going to stop sharing and let Mr. Ensrud take over. You are muted, Mr. Ensrud, so unmute so we can hear you.
There we go. Too many screens going. Thanks, Ms. Rasmussen. I'm trying to pick up right where you left off here in terms of talking about that future planning. And I love how you're talking about figuring out what's going to maybe happen or what life after high school might look like. And now we're going to walk it back to what do you want to consider for next year? And there's a couple resources we want to kind of put in front of you to help you decide what next year might include. Certainly, as Mr. Turnquist introduced earlier, there's a great table of contents at the beginning of this course registration guide. And if you have it up on your iPad at some point, you'll be able to go to individual course descriptions from that table of contents really quickly. You just tap on the page number and it takes you right there. So in a moment, I'm going to come back to this registration guide and talk about how you might best use it to learn specifics about classes. But for now, I'm going to go to another resource that you have access to via Schoology in your CCR course folder, and that is this course listing document. It'll be a part of our instructions that we provide you guys in Schoology. This course listing really is kind of like the intro menu. It's a little bit like the table of contents, but it lets you see how things are organized by department. And on the left of the course listing document, you'll see course numbers. That's going to come in handy when it comes time to request specific classes. To the right, name of a class. To the right of that, you can see how much credit it is worth, whether it's a 1 semester half credit class or a full year-long full credit course. And then to the right of that, you'll see that the grade levels who are allowed to take certain courses. And now that you guys are going to be juniors, it really opens up a lot more option and opportunity as far as your course selection process goes. You've almost got access to everything as a junior, not quite yet, but you're getting a lot more in front of you. So as you kind of work your way through this course listing, you'll be able to see if there are some new courses or different courses you haven't seen before. You can start kind of narrowing in on, okay, I started to take some business this year. I want to do more business classes. What else do I have to choose from? World language, you can kind of see what's next in the sequence. So use this course list to kind of browse. It's a great browsing tool to be able to start zeroing in and maybe brainstorm some ideas of what you want to do next year. Eventually, through this course list, you might reach a point of, boy, I'm not sure what the difference is between intro to engineering and, oh, let's talk about the 3D printing class, or there's Cars 101 and auto mechanics. What's the difference between those? That's going to take you right back over to that course registration guide, because here, organized by department, I've got the English one up on the right, you'll be able to see course descriptions for each and every class that we offer at Northfield High School. So you work your way through the required subject areas. And then once you get to the end of those, it starts turning that corner from, well, what do I need to graduate from high school to what do I maybe need if I'm going off to college, and hits those world languages. And then we organize the rest of the guide by area of interest, as Mr. Turnquist had identified early on. So now, if you were trying to figure out the difference between a cars and a mechanics class, if you work your way through the engineering and manufacturing, and you start getting into auto mechanics 1, which is different from Cars 101 in the introductory portion, and you can read up on what those courses are really going to entail. And I think sometimes students kind of operate on the word of mouth approach, where I know my older brother or sister took this, or my friend took this last year, so I think I know who's probably going to teach it and what the class is already about. I don't need this guide. Reality is, we sometimes have new staff members. Reality is, sometimes current staff members teach something new. So to assume that what has been in place is going to look the same next year might not be your best strategy. So maybe it would make more sense to rely on what's in this guide, because our staff does a phenomenal job of updating their materials every year as far as what they're going to offer. So in using both the course listing and the course registration guide, we think you can really zero in on what's best for you rather than what might be best for your friends. And that's a big part of what Ms. Rasmussen was talking about in determining your own future pathway. Now, Ms. LaGrosse is going to drill it down to the level of, okay, I got it figured out on what some classes are that I want to take. How do I go about getting those requests in place and planning towards them? So Ms. LaGrosse, you are up, and I'm going to go back and mute myself.
All right, so now we get to the fun part. How do we register for classes? So I am going to share my screen as well. So the first thing you want to do before signing up for classes is to look at this course planning guide. We went over graduation requirements earlier. Now we want to go down and look at the grade 11 grid. So as 11th graders, these are the classes you'll be required to take next year. So a year of English 11, a year of world history, a year of chemistry, and a year of math. Talk to your math teachers about your math placements. And as you know by now, students are required to sign up for 6 classes per semester. So slots 5 and 6 will be filled in by electives. You can choose to have 7 classes, or the 7th slot could be your study hall. If you do choose to have a study hall, when you register for classes, sign up for 6 credits or 6 classes per semester, and the study hall will be filled in for you later. So you do not have to register for a study hall. Okay, so now that we know what we need to sign up for, let's go through our registration steps. So you're going to log into Skyward. And when you log into Skyward on your iPad, make sure you're using the desktop version. If you use the app version, this will not work. So use the desktop version. When you log in, look at the left side of the screen, go down to where it says schedule, click on that. And then you're going to look for the big blue link at the top that says request courses for 2022-2023. Click on this link. And now we're going to go down to the search box. So when you sign up for classes, you will be given a copy of the course planning guide I just showed you, and you'll have a list of all of the classes that are available here and the course codes available in that guide. So you can use the course codes from that guide to search for the classes you want to sign up for. So let's say I want to sign up for a PE class. I'll type in the first couple of numbers, 11, search. So all of the PE classes that are available to me come up. I feel like lifting weights and getting in shape. So I'm going to sign up for strength and conditioning. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to click add course. And that'll bring it over to this box on the right, selected courses. So you're going to keep doing that until you have signed up for all of the classes you would like to take. So if I sign up for a course, let's say I sign up for team sports, and then I decide, no, I really don't want to take that class. I'm going to click on it, click remove course, and that removes it from this box. So once you are finished signing up for classes, go to the top and click where it says request alternates. So your alternates are the classes you will be placed in if for some reason one of your first choices is not available. So this is very important. Make sure you sign up for alternates, because if you don't sign up for alternates or you don't sign up for enough classes and you don't have enough classes on your schedule for next year, your counselors will select classes for you to make sure you have a full schedule, and you may not like what we choose. So go in and do the work and choose what you would like to take yourself. Something else to keep in mind is our schedule change policy. So once the school year starts, we will not be changing any schedules. The only schedule changes that will be made are dropping a class if you have 7 classes for a study hall. So take this process seriously and know that the classes you're signing up for now are the classes you're going to have next year. So when you are finished signing up for classes and you've requested your alternates, go to the right side of the screen, click the big red X, and your courses will be automatically saved. So if you have any questions or concerns about classes for next year or anything else related to registration, we will be in the hallways tomorrow when you register. So if it's a quick question, walk into the hallway and find a counselor. If it's something that will take more time, send us an email to plan a time to come in and meet with us, or come in during flex. All right, happy registration.